Hi. Okay, today is Monday, and I wanted to do a realistic week of reading. So, starting today, I'm gonna be just reading at my regular pace and updating you guys on the books I'm reading, which is gonna be Lost and Lassoed by Lala Sage, one of my most anticipated reads of this year. So, super excited for that. Know I'll be reading this one quickly. The only reason why I didn't finish this in my last video is because I wanted to focus on doing mostly bookish things and not just doing a regular updating on reads. So I try to hold off on reading this too much. And I did make it to chapter 10, which is not much, but it was quite a bit. So this book is short. It's like 312 pages, and I'm on page 70. So I don't think I'll be finishing it today, but I'm going to just read and see where I go and update you guys on how I'm feeling about this book because I really love the series. Done and Dusted, I liked a whole lot more than Swift and Saddled. Swift and Saddled, I kind of didn't like it, but it was okay. It was okay. But Done and Dusted, I think I gave 4 stars, and Swift and Saddled, like three stars. Yeah. But I honestly thought I would love the Swift and Saddled more, but the two characters in there, I just didn't like their chemistry that much, so that's why I didn't love it as much. Already though, I can see that I'm loving the chemistry between Teddy and Gus, and I already like the concept of the enemies to lovers between them. So I for sure have been enjoying what I've been reading. So I'm gonna be continuing this one, and then I also want to read The Teller of Small Fortunes. This one is one of my anticipated reads as well. I think I'm gonna really like this one. It's more like a cozy fantasy. It's quite short. I thought it would be kind of longer, but when I got it, I realized how short it is. So might be finishing this quickly too. So if anything, I might be reading a third book this week, but for sure, I'm gonna be reading these two. So yeah, let's start off this week with Lost and Lassoed and see where everything goes. A little update. Today is Tuesday. So Monday I read 77 pages of Lost and Lassoed. I'm now on chapter 22. Some things are happening in this book. I'm loving Gus so much. I love his personality a whole lot. I just love a little grumpy man, okay? I don't know why. I always just love them. So Gus is just like that, and I love it so much. I really love the narrator for Teddy. Her voice is just so raspy and sweet. So I am enjoying a whole lot about this book. The audio and the actual writing, I'm enjoying. I really love this couple. They have great chemistry for sure, and I just find them so hilarious. So I'm enjoying my time with them. But I do feel that inkling of I want to go into a fantasy. So I think I'm gonna start The Teller of Smart Fortunes because I feel it. I do want a fantasy world. Like I love romances, but they always don't provide that fantasy element that I like reading about. So of course I have to read some type of fantasy along with them because as much as they could be great, I just always love fantasy more. I don't know why. I realized that's why when I attempted to read romances back to back, it was a failure for me because I just can't do it. I can't sit there and read just romances. Even if I love them, I can just read one at a time and that's it. So The Teller of Small Fortunes now, I really don't know much about it. I know like it's about this lady that she can only tell small fortunes and she is like an immigrant. She's going from place to place. I think she has like this little cat with her and I guess it has a bit of a journey element to it. So she's going on a journey, and I think there's like other people she meet along the way, which I love that. I like it when books focus on like a journey, but also a band of characters going on this journey, and they have like little mishaps. So I'm hoping that is like that, but with like cozy fantasy elements. So that is what I got from the synopsis. I hope it's just like that because I really want something like that right now. And yeah, that's really all I know about it. So I'm gonna start it and see how that goes. Oh, for my father who gifted me my love of stories, thank you for still being here. That's nice. On the day the teller of small fortunes came to Necker, the village was in an uproar because the candle maker's would-be apprentice had lost all the goats. I like the introduction. Okay, gonna read this one now. Okay, I'm pretty sure I've posted that video already, but recently I got a second bookshelf. So I've organized my shelves differently now, and I wanted to show you a little glimpse into that. This is my favorite one of all the shelves. I love it so much. It's so pretty. It took me quite a few tries until I got this result. And over here, I love this one because I'm showcasing Sky Beyond the Storm, which is one of the books in the Ember and Ashes series. And I have Hair beside it. That's the sequel. That's kind of, it's a sequel series that's in the same world. I think it's going to be a duology. I still haven't read that one yet because I'm scared too. And then I have some other books next to it that I like. And down here, I made like a little fairy shelf. I'm just so in love with it. I showcased Bride because I really like how Bride looks, the cover. And I kept this one about the same with Sorcery of Thorns, Mysteries of Thorn Manor, and that time I got Junk and Save a Demon because I really like displaying those three books. They just look so good right here, so I just kept them the same. And I have some fantasies over here, The Night Circus, The Maiden and the Crocodile. Down here is more like miscellaneous fantasies that I've either read, haven't read, or I think most of them I read except for one. Yeah, it's actually one I haven't read. And then I have my romance shows. I put them higher up because I'm really liking romances this year. So the ones that I like, I have them here, and the ones I think I'm gonna love, I put them as well because I do have some hardcover romances that I want to display. Like I like Honey and Spice a whole lot, so I wanted to showcase that one. Down here is more romances, and that's about it. So I do have one empty shelf that I'm excited to fill with more books later in the future. Yay! So happy with my shelves. So another update. Today's Wednesday. Yesterday, Tuesday, I read around, let me see, exactly 124 pages, exactly, of The Tale of Smart Fortunes. And let me tell you, once I picked this book up, it was so hard to put it back down. Every time I'm like, okay, I need to do something. But I had to just go and switch to the audiobook because I was enjoying it so much. So that's why I ended up reading up to chapter 8. And I'm still at chapter 8. I didn't finish the chapter. But I did put it down once I had to start cooking. And that's when I decided, okay, I'm going to start reading for today. Because I wanted to try out some K dramas and C dramas since I haven't watched those in like a year and a half, I think. I did that, but I still wasn't enjoying the dramas that I chose. I think I kind of liked was it Love Next Door? I watched episode 1 of that. It's more interesting than the other one I tried out. The other one was like a, what do you call it? Love game in Eastern fantasy. Yeah, that one was kind of too dumb for me, so I didn't like it. It was not. It was no brain power, and I wanted something more, you know, like more to it than just foolishness. So yeah, so that one I tried that one. I didn't like it, but this is not a K drama, C drama channel. This is a book channel. So yeah, The Tale of Small Fortunes. From what I've read, I think it's very cozy for real. It doesn't have much action in it, but there are like little fantasy elements there, here and there. Like we have gnomes, we have witches, we have, we call them mages, and I think there was a troll. The part where I stopped at, it was, they were, the main characters, they were going upon this troll, and you know trolls, they look like rocks. So they came upon this troll that looked like a big massive rock, but once it moved, they were like, oh my gosh, that's a troll. So I'm enjoying that. I love reading books with different fantastical characters, and that has that. So obviously I'm enjoying that about it. It's very comforting to read. That's why I found it hard to put down. I did put on Hilda because I watched Hilda already, but I was rewatching it because I feel like it had similar vibes to Hilda. So that's why I put it on when I was reading this, and I had that in the background. And my baby was watching Hilda because he's starting to pay attention to shows now. Like he's at that stage where he actually notices colors and like stuff going on the TV. So it's been nice watching him watching shows and seeing his reactions. But yeah, The Tale of Small Fortunes, I'm really enjoying it. It's looking like a good 4 stars. It doesn't have much in it, but for some reason I just love cozy fantasies. I'm just one of those people that even though not a lot is happening in the story, I love just reading about the world itself, and whenever it has a band of characters in cozy settings, I always enjoy that. And I didn't pick up Lost and Lasso yesterday at all because the part where I had stopped at, it's like a building up scene to more complex things between the characters. So I didn't want to continue it unless I was gonna finish it from that part. So today is the plan is continue Lost and Lasso at that part and finish it today. So yeah, whenever I get to like a climax scene, I like to just binge the rest of the book from that scene. That's why I had stopped reading at that part, and now I'm gonna continue reading it and see how much I enjoyed, and hopefully I continue to love it more because what was it, Swift and Settled? From the beginning of Swift and Settled, I enjoyed it, but once it got to that 20% mark, I realized it was just an okay read. But Lost and Lassoed has been great from the beginning to the middle where I'm at now, and hopefully the end. Good morning. Bit of a different setting today, so I'm always updating these vlogs in the morning, I know, but it's because I work at night, so I mainly do my reading in the early morning and stuff. But today I'm off, so I thought I would do something a little bit different since it's kind of a realistic week of me reading. I don't start reading until around 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. most of the time, and I read for like a good 1 hour most of the day. And then sometimes I'll listen to the audiobook on my way to work and come back from work, and my work is very far away, so I think approximately 1 hour it takes me to drive to work. So that's why I get a good chunk of the audiobooks done each day if I feel like listening to an audiobook. That is, sometimes I just listen to music or nothing at all because I just want my brain to be empty. So I have those days, but today I wanted to do some cinnamon rolls. I've had this for like the past few days now, and I wanted to make it. And for the first time ever, I got some Dunkin' ice. What was it? Ice frappuccino? I don't even know. I'm not a coffee person, so I don't really know. What did I order? Yeah, it was iced latte. And I think I put like butter pecan, hazelnut shots, and sugar and all that jazz in there. It's pretty nice, but it's very hard for me to finish because I'm not really a juice person or a coffee person. Overall, I just drink water most of the time. So whenever I'm drinking like something that isn't water, it's always very difficult for me to finish. So I've been trying. I don't think you're supposed to drink all this in one go, are you? So I've been trying coffee this year to see if it will make me more calmer, basically, because I think I think too much. So my mind, I'm trying to like calm it down to like focus better. And I think it's working, but a bit too well. I kind of get sleepy when I drink coffee, so I don't know about that. But yeah, I've been trying to see. It's okay. It's not something I see myself drinking every day. I think probably once or twice a month I'll drink coffee at this point, because just to try it out and try something different in my system. But yeah, that's my little take on coffee. It's pretty good though, not bad. I think I like iced coffee more than the hot one. I tried the hot one since I love tea, and I don't like hot coffee. I don't. So I've been trying the ice, and yeah, definitely like it way more. It tastes way better that way for some reason. And yeah, that's it for me today. I'm gonna put this back in the fridge, and hopefully it doesn't go flat or anything like that. I don't know how coffee works. I think with all the ice, it'll go really not taste so good later on, but I can't finish it in one go. So gonna get this out of here. I haven't used this thing in a long time, so I'm gonna figure it out, get it out, and put it in the oven. Oh my goodness. It's been what, since Thursday since I last updated. Okay, so Friday, no reading was done. No reading whatsoever. Friday was a very busy day. I mostly did errands, then I went to work. So I knew I was going to be reading Friday. So didn't even attempt to open up a book. Didn't even look at a page. So no reading on Friday, but I didn't update my pages right on Wednesday and Thursday. So Wednesday I read 70 pages, and Thursday I read 82 pages. So throughout those days, I read Lost and Last Out only. Since I started the Tale of Smart Fortunes on Monday, I think. Yeah, Monday I read 124 pages. I continued reading Lost and Last Out the rest of the days. Never read that one because where I stopped, I think it was over the middle, but we're getting a bit more action after that. And as I said earlier, I like to stop at the part where it's picking up pace and it's where everything happens at once, and that's close to the ending. So I like to read the book straight through from that part. I didn't get to do that with Lost and Last Out. I kept having to do other things. So when I picked it up back again on Tuesday, I didn't get to just sit down and read it start to finish. I wanted to do that on Wednesday, and I didn't get to read it from start to finish, but that's okay because Lost and Last Out, I gave it 4.25 stars. I really love Teddy and Gus. Honestly, they're my favorite couple in this entire Rebel Blue Ryan series. I really love Emmy and Brooks, but Teddy and Gus, they have this spark. From I was reading Done and Dusted, I really wanted to know more about these two because they just had this really great chemistry that you could just see from a mile away. And I love how this book had more serious, deeper topics in it. It really captured my attention and had me very invested and kind of heartbroken at times too with the other topics that we're discussing here, and Teddy's relationship with Gus's daughter. I really like that part. I just like the family dynamic in this book. Like the series overall, I love the family dynamic, and that's why I like to continue reading it. But I don't know the next book. I honestly don't really care about that character, so I don't know if I'm gonna read the next book. But Teddy and Gus and Emmy and Brooks, those are my favorites from this series. So the plan today is to finish The Teller of Small Fortunes. It's a pretty chill book. See, I stopped at 124 and never picked it back up since. So I'm gonna continue from there. And I think it's is it 300 pages? It's a little bit over 300 pages. Because Lost and Last was 300 pages flat, like 300. So this week, reading isn't being done that much, to be honest, because I've been all over. I'm trying to find a show to watch because most of the time I don't watch anything, and I really have this feeling of I want to go back to watching shows. So I'm trying. This week I've been trying to find a show to watch. That's why I've been pausing a lot on the books I'm reading. I've been really enjoying the Kindle. I got it last week, and honestly, I was reading Lost and Lasted on it because I like reading romance books on ebook more. So I did transfer my annotations from the Kindle to this. One thing I didn't know about the Kindle until recently when people were talking about the color soft is that you didn't have the color highlighting portion. So I was like, am I not going to like that since I could see that on my iPad, on my phone, the colors when I'm transferring them to the book. But it honestly didn't bother me because I do reread my lines and I know automatically what I highlighted that line for, like what color I associated the line with. So it wasn't too bad transferring over the annotations. But with Lost and Last Out, I did use one color only because when I read romance books, I like to use only one palette because with romances, I'm just highlighting the scene that I love and lines that I love. So it's all just love. It's not really anything else. With fantasies now, I have world building, characterization, deep information that I need to go back to and remember, and then fight scenes that I find epic and nice. And obviously, I love the scene. Lines that really got to me that I really love, and they're very memorable. And I would definitely like to go back and when I'm rereading the book, just skim through those parts and read that again. So that's what my annotations are usually about. And it's not too bad with a Kindle. The fact that it's not in color, that I can see the color and it highlights, isn't affecting me. I thought it would, but it's honestly not so. But we'll see further when I get read a fantasy book, but I don't think so. I don't think it's affecting me. So yeah, that's the update for today, and I'm going to continue this Teller of Small Fortunes. Okay, it's a little bit later. I think a good 4 hours has passed since the last update. So I listened to the rest of the Teller of Small Fortunes while doing some laundry and folding up some clothes. I still have quite a bit over here to fold, so still got more to do. So I'm probably gonna pick up another book, which I have here in mind. I want to pick up The Wishing Game. It's on my TBR of November, so I was thinking, what's on my TBR that I kind of feel the mood for right now? And I still want to read something cozy because The Teller of Small Fortunes, it is a cozy fantasy, but it wasn't my most favorite, I'm not gonna lie. It was one of those cozy fantasies where it was actually kind of boring and very slow paced. And that's because the characters, I feel like they were not well developed. Cozy fantasies are a hit and miss, you know. They do have that big factor of it not merely being a major plot being in the book. So yeah, The Teller of Small Fortunes kind of fell flat for me. I did enjoy the characters, but I felt like there was something blocking my enjoyment around them. And usually with cozy fantasies, it's the characters that make the book really great, not the actual plot, because the plot is very light. But with this one, I really wasn't fully invested in the characters. I really didn't really care about their lives that much. I did love the ending though. It gave a little spark there. I had like a little light bulb moment there where I really enjoyed that bit. But otherwise, throughout this book, I realized I love the beginning parts. That's when you're just being introduced to the characters. And I was like, okay, keep reading. You're going to love them more as it goes on. But I didn't. I just kept feeling the same meh way about them. So I gave it 3.25 stars. It was cute, not very memorable. I'm already forgetting stuff and I just finished it. So yeah, that's my review for this one. I do want to pick this one up and hopefully it has more better characters in there because it has that concept where I really like. It's about this lady, she and this little boy, which I love that already. I like it when there's a kid in a book, but it's not the main character's kid and they have like these magical things happening to them. I don't think this is exactly like that, but it just has that trope that I like, which is a young child and an adult. They have like this friendship together. That's what I got from the synopsis of the Wishing Game. So I'm gonna pick it up. I heard that it has a little bit of romance too, so I want some good romance as well. So hopefully this is a good choice, but because I'm in the mood for something cozy still. And since my last cozy fantasy wasn't great, I'm hoping this is great. Okay, so time to wrap up this vlog and look at an estimate of how many pages I read each day and all that jazz. So Monday, I read 77 pages. Tuesday, 124 pages. Wednesday, 70 pages. Thursday, 82 pages. Friday, 0 pages. Saturday, 198 pages. Sunday, 291 pages. So, as you can see from that, I read the most pages on Saturday, Sunday. I start a book in the beginning of the week and I read it slowly throughout the week as I'm working and take care of my baby and just living life, you know. And then the weekend comes out. That's when I kind of wrap it up and finish off the books that I have because I don't like going into a new week with multiple books. So I always try to just sit down and take a time to just wrap up the books. So the reason why Sunday though, Sunday I don't usually read that many, like almost 300 pages, is because I picked up Legends and Lattes. So that's the last book I read this week. Legend and Lattes, I started it Sunday morning and I was flying through that book, not gonna lie. I even read the last chapter at work because work was slow and I had some time to just sit and just read. So I did that and I finished reading it and it was so good. For my review of Legends and Lattes, I said, so sorry I took so long to read Legends and Lattes. It's everything I love in a cozy fantasy. I adored Viv from the start. The band of characters she befriends along the way were also so fun and interesting. I was happy and upset with them. With every turn of the pages, lovely and comforting read. And that's just the gist of it. I just really liked it from start to finish because Viv alone, she was okay. But when she kept meeting more people along the way, especially Cal, when all Cal says is to everything you ask him, I just loved him so much. I did listen to the audiobook. The author is a narrator. I didn't know that. That's why when I picked up the audiobook and I saw that he narrated it, he actually sounds really good as a narrator. And I thought it was like his first time. But no, he's a seasoned narrator. And that's why. So it was pretty good listening to it. Honestly, he he did a really good job, like, because he wrote the book himself, so he knows how to do the pitch and tone and everything perfectly for his characters. So yeah, it was a great listening experience. But overall, the book itself, I really like the characters, and that's what I love about cozy fantasies. If you love the characters and they're really like fun and not boring at all, then you will enjoy it. Because compared to the Teller of Small Fortunes, which I said I didn't really like the characters, that is why my rating was so low for it. Legend and Lattes, I gave that one 4 stars because I really like the characters. I don't think I'm gonna read the other book from the series though, because it's a prequel. I thought it was a sequel, and I know myself, I didn't like Viv alone, so I don't think I'm gonna care enough to read about Viv and other people that she met along the way. I like Viv with the characters in Legend and Lattes, so I'm just gonna stay there and not ruin my experience by going to pick up, what was it, Bone Shop and Dust or something. I don't know. I was gonna do it, but then I found out it was like a prequel, and I was like, no. Based on the synopsis, I don't think I'm gonna like it. So yeah, that's the wrap up on this week. I did read 3 books. I read Lost and Lassoed, The Teller of Small Fortunes, and Legends and Lattes on Kindle. I did start this. I didn't count the pages on Saturday when I picked this one up. I think I read 6 pages. I didn't count the 6 pages because I was just giving it a test to see if I would like it, and I would like it, but not at the moment. It's one of those books where if I read it, it'll be like a wrong time thing, because it's more like a solemn read. It's not a very, based on what I've got from the first, like the prologue, it reads really kind of sad and solemn. So I didn't like that tone, and I'm not in the mood for something like that at the moment. I thought it would be more like dreamful and sweet, but based on the characters in here, it's giving sad. So I put it back down. I was like, I don't want to read about sad people right now. So yeah, and that's it on this week. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.